But we can start now.
Okay.
Were you expecting more noise out of that?
I was expecting a little bit more noise out of that.
What are you pouring right there?
I am pouring. Hold on, let me get a little closer to the
There
mic
we
here.
go. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Sitting in this chair is not actually all that close for me. From the 23rd Ave Brewery, the how do you pronounce it?
Ananas?
Ananas.
There you go.
The Ananas IPA.
From 23rd Avenue Brewery down on the corner of 23rd and I believe Jackson, right in Seattle. Area that I spent a lot of time as a kid. Just because it was always, my dad used to always take me to the Ezels down in that area growing up.
Yeah.
And then that's the route we would take to always get to Husky football games because it was just our way.
It was the way
And
you
he would stop and get me food like in all the places down in that CD area. So spent a lot of time down there when I was a kid. It was kind of cool.
I want to read you the side of the bottle.
All right, read
now. Okay, it says, "Cheers to the island girl who inspired this bold beer brewed with fresh cut pineapple."
Ooh.
So let's try it.
Yeah, all right. Are you pouring it for us?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'll have my hi-fi glass, R.I.P. to hi-fi. Looks like a good color to it.
And I have my Abbey of the Holy Goats glass.
R.I.P.
to them, too.
We got a lot of glasses of breweries that don't exist anymore.
It's harder to get rid of them when the brewery doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I know we're drinking a Seattle brewery, but this episode is not on Seattle beer at all. We're going to our friends up north, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Man, I can smell the pineapple in that.
I guess you can't celebrate the Great North without a Seattle beer.
There we go.
But we are going to be talking about Alaska.
That's very smooth. A little low on the carbonation side.
It looked like it when I was pouring it.
This was the very last of them when I went to the brewery. So kind of a little story about this brewery is when I went there, I didn't actually know much about it. I know that they're open, and they're only open, I think, Friday and Saturdays. So I went there and was just kind of seeing, hey, what's going on with this tap room? So the tap room itself is not open yet. You can just do bottles to go. So went there, I asked, like, hey, can I get the IPA? And the lady there, she's like, yeah. And then searched around, couldn't find it. So she called up one of the brewers or someone else there and was like, hey, do we have any more of this? And he's like, nope, we're sold out. Like, oh, hey, no worries. So I go and order the their ale. I can't remember which name it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't had that yet. But when I paid for that and was walking out, and she's like, I found another one.
Did they only have the two beers there?
They had three, and another one was I think it was a pepper beer.
Oh, okay.
So that a little bit goes a long ways with that. So
yeah, I know that's not your favorite.
But I'm excited that there's another brewery going on, and especially in that area. So it's walking distance to Standard for anybody who needs to know.
Oh, they needed another brewery out there.
They did.
And I actually really like it. I think it's good. I hope that they open a tap room for...
I think that spot will be a tap room. It's not going to be a very big tap room.
Well, neither was Standard when they started out.
Oh, yeah. This somehow will probably even smaller. I mean, looks like they're only brewing in about a 1-barrel system. But you know what? You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, for a 1-barrel system, this is a very, very good beer.
Mm-hmm. Just a little on the carbonation. That's my only...
that could also just be the
age of the beer.
Yeah, being in the bottle
who knows?
for a little too long. But
who knows? Anyways, yeah, it's good.
I think the flavor is really good.
Yeah, good pineapple.
I can really taste the pineapple, and I like that.
All right. So, do you want to talk about our friends up north? We went to Alaska.
Yeah, we did.
But we're going to talk specifically about Juneau, Alaska.
And by our friends up north, are you talking about the whales?
Sam saw a whale.
I saw many whales. I saw flame.
We are now, if you go, there's a website where you can show the tail of it. I'm sure there's a name for it, but and then because each one of them is unique, so they have a name for it. So Sam,
for the humpback whales.
Yeah, for the humpback whales. For the orcas that we saw, we just saw orcas.
Yeah, I'm sure that you can track orcas too, but
you just have to get closer and ask their name though.
Yeah,
I've seen Free Willy. I know what's going on with whales.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, they just jump over you and you touch their
belly.
Whale vaginas.
Oh, okay. We went two different directions with that. But yeah, so we saw Cinder and Flame and a whole bunch of other whales up there. And
pretty
they
cool.
Were eating and jumping around and flapping their tails, and it was cool.
Yeah, that was very cool. But we're talking about our friends up in Juneau. We'll say around the brewery scene up there.
So not the eagles.
Not the eagles, not the whales, not the bear that you saw.
And ran away from.
Sam ran away from a bear. If you can follow me on Twitter for the story and the pictures about that. But we were walking out of a bar. And, I'll tell you what, Juneau right now has some great dive bars.
I think you should just tell the story, just the short version.
All right, so
because you're already halfway there.
All right, so we walk out of the bar. So the first time we walk into the one bar, we're leaving one dive bar to go to another dive bar. Turn the corner, and there's a whole bunch of people just taking photos. Like, what the hell is this? We go over there, look, and there's just a bear digging around through trash. And this is in downtown Juneau. This is literally one business away from our hotel.
Which I don't think this is, terribly unusual for downtown Juneau.
So we go over there, and, I go and use my zoom to the max on my camera and take a photo of this bear. Cool. We're going to go walk away. All of a sudden, someone just starts making a lot of noise, and we're like, bear's moving. And everybody kind of just runs because this bear, we have no idea, it's kind of stuck in its alleyway. And Sam just books it and hides in a doorway, like it's an earthquake of a building, just I ran from a bear.
Okay, I mean, I'm not there to corner a bear.
And I don't think the bear actually moved. I think people just panicked.
He kind of took 3 steps forward, I think. It wasn't the bear wasn't being very dramatic. I was maybe not being, my response was maybe a little overly
And I get
dramatic.
it. Bears are terrifying. It was a big boy. But there was probably about 10 people in between you that the bear would rather eat.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep those 10 people between us.
And there's one guy that was way too close to the bear.
Yeah.
He may have not made it. I don't know. But the hero of all this was a Alaskan Malamute that was owned by one of the
unhomed.
Yeah, unhomed folks. And he just would not let the bear get anywhere near the street. So the bear would leave the alleyway, and the dog would "Bow, bow, 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 bow," and chase him down. And the bear would just run away.
Well, the bear would be like, fine, whatever.
Yeah, so the Alaskan Malamute up there, you are the true hero. It just shows that huskies are wonderful animals, and ducks and cougars suck.
Anyway, I feel like we've been talking about this bear for a really long time. We should probably start talking about the beer.
All right, so let's talk about the brewery scene up in Alaska. You don't want to talk about anything else in Alaska? There's a lot to talk about Alaska. There is not a lot to talk about beer-wise.
I liked Eagle Beach. If you're in Juneau, some of the things that I thought were cool was Eagle Beach. The tram, I think, is worth the trip up there.
Terrifying if you got that butthole puckered, but you get to the top and they got some local craft beer up there, so that was nice.
That part was cool. What else did we do? We did the whale watching trip that we already mentioned. That was pretty cool too. That was Alaska Tales, I think, was the group we went out with. And then what else did we do while we were there? Oh, golf. It's fine. Don't take it too seriously.
We also saw Mendenhall Glacier.
Oh, the glacier, yeah.
It used to be bigger.
Yeah, it did.
Every person we showed pictures of, they'll be like, "Oh, I went to Juneau in the summer of '87." Oh no, that glacier doesn't look good. It's still big, but every picture they show from even from 1990 or 2007 or even 2014. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, we are
significant.
screwing this world hard with our everything. But we digress. You want to talk about the beer?
Yeah, we should probably talk about
we have 4 breweries to talk about. That's
okay.
it.
All right.
It's just probably the city that we went to that has the least amount of breweries. And the thing about Juneau is when you're in Juneau, you're in Juneau. There's no other city you can go to.
Right.
Unless you take a ferry or a flight. So we are in Juneau.
It's essentially an island on land.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to Maui where we only had so much to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but we have 4 breweries. We have Barnaby Brewing. We have Devil's Club, Forbidden Peak, an Alaskan brewing company for those who love their Icy Bay IPA.
Icy Bay IPA.
And if anybody who's flown Alaskan knows that, or had Alaskan before, you always get that amber. You can find that Kolsch everywhere. So, you want to spend a lot of time talking about Alaskan Brewing Company?
I don't think we need to touch on it for too long. They did have some beers there that were exclusive to being in Alaska or being in the tap room. And this is where I probably should have pulled up my Untapped before we started.
Oh no! I actually pulled it up, but my phone is being a little awkward right now.
You're like me right now. Are you opening Instagram? What's happening?
No, I thought I had it queued up, ready to go.
But anyway, they do have a couple of beers you can only get at the brewery there, which I think made it kind of worth a stop. It's also just the outside to see like a massive production system for a brewery and like that's in what is a relatively small city but distributes quite widely was kind of cool. I mean, I think it's kind of the same thing that you used to see out in the Red Hook in Woodinville, but I don't know. It was all right. I think it was worth the stop. I wasn't mad about it. We picked up some really good steak seasoning while we were there that we tried when we got home, and I was really into that.
Yeah, the beers itself are fine. There's actually 3 locations there. 2 have beer, 1 does not. One is just like retail store. So they have their production facility, which is outside of town just a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the one that has like you can see the giant tanks and stuff outside. And they've got a little tap room there with a little store.
So that place is cool. I mean, you definitely are just in a industrial complex with their patio that's just part of an old parking lot. But itself it's very cool. Like, there, locals went there because it is outside of town. The public house, which is their restaurant, that is right next to all the ferry terminals. So if you are taking a ferry to Alaska, that is the easy one to hit up. Like if you're just going to that ale or that tap room, ale house, restaurant, whatever you want to be, it's like right on the pier there, which is very, very cool. That pier is gorgeous, and they've done a good job with it. And then they have this little just store that was right next to our hotel, which is also in the downtown area, like kind of in the touristy shopping area.
Yeah,
and that's all Alaskan. It's always worth a stop. We didn't get any food there, so I don't know how it is. But when they had fresh crab on the menu and fish and everything, when you're in Alaska, you just get all the seafood you want.
Yeah, you get all the crab and seafood you can get.
All right, so Alaska was fine. What was your of the 3 remaining? You want to do your favorite first? I know because we had a clear favorite, and I know we don't really do favorites, but each one had their all cool uniqueness to it. Let's do Forbidden Peak because it was outside of town a little bit in Auk Bay.
And that was the first actual brewery we went to when we were down there.
And location-wise and building-wise and kind of everything-wise,
it's pretty dope.
It's pretty awesome. So the brewery itself sits up on a little tiny hill overlooking Auk Bay. That's it's about 10-15 minutes just north of like the downtown Juneau area. So you can Uber, which I highly not recommend Ubering out there. I know they have a bus system that gets you everywhere, but we didn't try.
No.
But to get to that Auk Bay area, 15 minutes from that downtown, and when you get there, you just look at the view. It overlooks their
it's like a marina.
Their harbor, I guess. Oh my God, that's beautiful. And the building is brand new. The beer was pretty dang tasty.
Yeah, it was good.
No regrets about the beer. And everything about that was cool. Like they had really good food there.
Yeah, the food that was coming out was really good. I got like a burger there that was excellent. That's
where I got my shirt from. They had great swag.
Yes, they did have really good swag there.
And we actually went there twice just because we liked it.
Yeah, so we went there the first day. The first day full day we were there, we went out to the beach and kind of walked around and tried to do things that were other than just being at bars all day. And then on the way back, we were like, well, there's a brewery. So we stopped there. And it was like delightful. It was like really nice to sit out on the patio overlooking the water. And I got, I don't remember what it was called, a Dragon Peak or something like that, or Peak Dragon.
I have my beers up ready to go.
Which was like a fruit beer, not a sour, but a fruit beer. And it was pretty good. And then I got the hazy IPA, which I liked a little bit more, but that's to my taste.
The Low Viz?
Yes.
The Low Viz, that was the hazy, and I found it actually multiple places in town. The city, all the dive bars and restaurants do a really good job of getting the local beers there because you don't have to import it, I guess. So I
get the impression that that's one of their flagship beers. Also,
it's one that's been checked in by far the most on Untappd.
The brewery laws are a little bit funny in Alaska.
I was going to go over those because it's going to take a moment.
Okay. Well, that just might explain why they do so much distributing locally to.
Okay, so the brewery laws
bars
are very, very dumb, and they're changing, thankfully, but they haven't changed yet. So right now in Alaska, you are only allowed to get in each brewery, and this doesn't apply to dive bars, restaurants, whatever, where you can just get unlimited hammered.
Yeah,
you can get as fucked up as you want, and trust me, I went whales deep.
Ooh, whales deep.
At the Alaskan Hotel and Bar on the local distillery there, Amalga. Their rye whiskey. Oh, I went to town on that stuff. It was so good. Anyways, so right now, so you can only stay open till 8 p.m. if you're a brewery. You can only serve 3 12-ounce pours.
4 12-ounce pours, so 32 ounces total. Or 36 ounces total.
And how many beers is that if it's 12 ounces?
Is that 3?
That's very embarrassing for you. What's your degree in?
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, 3. I'm also looking at it right now on the website. 3 12-ounce pours. You can't have any sort of entertainment. So you can't have trivia. You can't have concerts. You can't have TVs. One of the places for Antique didn't have Wi-Fi because they didn't want to risk people like watching TV on their phones because all of that is illegal in Alaska right now. So you have like a look on your face.
No, I'm just embarrassed about the math.
I'm not cutting that.
Yeah, I was thinking 3 or 2 16-ounce pours.
Okay, that's
3 12-ounce pours. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, it's fine. You're fine. It's okay. So, and then one other thing I'm actually learning about is annually to keep your business license for a brewery, you have to pay $1,000 a year.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
That's incredibly stupid for a small business. That is like anti-business.
Yeah, I mean, the laws are definitely not like pro brewery there. They are easing up on some things though. Aren't they gonna be able to have TVs?
So with the law change, and it's lessening a little bit. So they're allowed to stay open till 10. Ooh. They can have TVs. They can have up to 4 concerts a year.
Okay.
You're allowed to have any other recreational stuff there, but they're keeping the 3 12-ounce drinks.
Okay.
That's stupid. That's
yeah,
still stupid.
it is dumb, but...
And talking with a couple of the workers there, they're like, there are some niceness to it, like that 8 o'clock. Like, we can get home earlier, but sometimes they're like, well, but it's when it's light till 10 to 10 o'clock midnight range. Like, it's packed, and all of a sudden it's like 8 o'clock, everybody get out. Mm-hmm. That's just lost business.
Yeah.
I think that's incredibly silly. So at least Alaska's making some changes. Maybe not as much as they want. Some places want, but still they're making changes. So, but that's why when we got to Fort Pit and Peak, we ordered our beers and they had us a little card, and we're like, oh, what's the card for?
I'm like, oh, thank you, and he's like, it's not that exciting.
Oh, the card is just to track how many drinks we had.
Yeah.
But anyways, the breweries have nothing to do with this. And I know that they recently formed a Brewers Guild to help lobby for them. So progress is being made. Mm-hmm. Not a big state, not a big populated state. Very, very big. Everything else, if you know what I mean. Like size, like it's big. It's like double the size of Texas.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Size matters there. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that explains like when you get into the breweries. Like, I know Montana has some weird, awkward rules. Also, when we were in Georgia, they had some weird rules. Although I've heard that changed. Utah has had some weird rules that have been slightly changed over time. I mean, I don't know if you are this, but you are seeing a trend of what kind of states they are, though. Mm-hmm. Conservative states.
Yeah.
So, but we're not here to talk politics. But come on, I mean, Massachusetts is very liberal. They don't have happy hour, so it's just weird. Like, there's a lot of these probably antiquated rules.
Well, I mean, I don't think that a lot of people are necessarily like making it a huge priority to lobby for brewery changes.
I know.
So it's definitely like, like one brewery is not going to be like, you know what I'm going to do? Change it. And it's just like the breweries just want to like stay in business. So they're just going to comply with the laws and make sure they're not breaking any rules so that they can continue to serve you delicious, delicious beers. Mm-hmm.
So Forbidden Peak, though, they also, what I liked most about them, though, they had a huge variety.
They did. They had a huge variety.
So I was able to, I utilized, we went there twice, so I had 6 of their beers. An IPA, the Lowe's Viz, the Ockbay, the kind of a maltier IPA, the Ockness, which is a Schwartz beer. I like it because it's Ockness, like Loch Ness. The Golden North, their lager. I had a nitro from them. Their Golden Spruce Ale made with spruce tips, and I saw that a lot of places up there where they had
there's
spruce
a lot
tips,
of
everything.
spruce beers. Yeah,
very, very cool. Like, use what when you go there, first thing you notice there's a ton of trees up there. It's like being just dropped in the North Cascades. Also, the water's on top of you. Just that many trees and mountains everywhere. Mm-hmm. So overall, Forbidden Peak, cool. Next one, we didn't get it. We only got our 3 beers there. We only went there once. Was Barnaby.
Yep.
Barnaby
Brewing Company.
Make sure I'm just saying that right there. Cool thing about them, they have a brewery cat.
Yeah, Simcoe.
And thank you. So we have a Simcoe. Bickerson's has a Simcoe. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have a cat named Simcoe
You
or a
should
dog named Simcoe.
rotate around and take a look at your Simcoe right now.
Simcoe, that is inappropriate. He's just on his back showing off the goods.
Yeah.
That is you. He also looks dead.
Yeah, he looks very lazy right now. He's fine.
he's
He's
breathing.
he's been rolling around over there. We caught him in a moment where he happens to not be moving.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So anyways, when I say Barnaby
Brewing Company.
Barnaby Brewing Company.
I only checked in one of the beers there.
And I made you
something
check
corporate,
it in too.
The IPA.
I had the root beer there because I'm better than everybody.
Oh, did that count as any of your ounces?
I don't think it did because it was non-alcoholic.
Okay, I was curious if that was going to count or not.
I would be very disappointed. But this brewery's in downtown Juneau, so you can walk there from anywhere because you can walk to Juneau almost anywhere.
Yeah.
I had the Goods from the Woods, which was I believe that was spruce tipped. I had their what I else have? I had their bear bait, which is the raspberry wheat. I actually had that twice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it's very, very raspberry colored.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I had one more there, but can't find it on my tab. Oh, Trop Hours. This was a tropical. So they labeled it as a tropical IPA, but it definitely was a sour tropical IPA.
Oh no.
So when it came to 12-ounce beers, that was a 12-ounce shot for me.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was tropical, but it definitely was a sour IPA.
I probably would have really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't we trade then?
I don't know.
I think that was my last beer.
I think I
think only had two there, to be honest.
Okay, that makes sense.
It was kind of it was right before, there was like literally right when they were closing, so we couldn't get a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So, but that was cool. Again, they closed early. It was like, 8:00, and we're trying to like get some drinks in, and they're like, nope, time to close. Bye.
Yeah.
But the cat lives there full time. I like it.
Yeah, cat was great.
And then the last one, which is probably my favorite by a bunch. I think I like Barnaby and I like Forbidden Peak, and I would, if those breweries were in Seattle, I'd visit them.
Yeah.
But Devil's Club,
so good.
so very good. That's on par with some of the better breweries in Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
agree.
would give the Cloudburst Rubens like bell, but it would be up there for kind of the next tier of breweries, whatever you want those tiers to be in your mind.
Yeah.
But to me, it'd be like a Stoop.
Yeah, I can see that.
But they had a good variety. They had a really cool location. We went there twice. It was like I get hit probably a pitching wedge from our hotel and make it there.
Mm-hmm. Once we found the door.
Yeah, we kept walking the wrong way.
Yeah.
But they also had good sandwiches too.
Yep. Highly recommend the Cuban sandwich there.
And again, this is in downtown. The signature IPA, very, very good. They actually had, I think they had like 4 or 5 IPAs. They had a handful of sours and a couple of other beers. The Dock Jump, which is their hazy, I actually brought that back home as a crowler and shared it with some friends, and they all thought it was very good. They gave it good reviews. Trying to figure out what else ones I had there. I had a collaboration.
Was that the Collective Perspective?
Yes.
Yeah, I had that one. I rated that a 4.
Yep.
I really liked it.
It was a collaboration with a whole bunch of breweries from other locations in Alaska, which impresses me because, again, you have to travel to get places. We actually have a crowler of that in our fridge right now. I think that will be shared tomorrow with friends.
Do we still have that? I thought we...
Nope, we still have it.
Okay.
Yep.
We also have we don't have, but we got the Do You Like, which is the milkshake IPA.
No, it's very milkshakey.
That was like a very Sabro tropical, very, very pineapple, very coconut. It was really good. I liked it. That's all my jam, so I liked it.
The Fresh As, which is a New Zealand Pilsner. Delicious. Really,
See, I
really
think
fresh.
that's the one we have in our fridge right now.
You think?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are.
Maybe. Oh, right. You are right, because the other one we couldn't get a crowler of because it was in bottles, but I didn't want to buy a 4-pack of it.
Right.
Yep. So that's okay, though. So anyways, that brewery and the sandwiches themselves were good. I think that's maybe the only place where we got food that wasn't seafood.
Yeah, other than my burger at Forbidden Peak.
Yeah, but that was mostly just you were just starving.
I know, I was super hungry.
And then I got seafood after it.
I did try 2 of their sours there, and I will say that, like, it's definitely like real barrel aged funky sours and not just like like a Fruit Loop sour kind of a thing, which I like a good Fruit Loop sour, don't get me wrong, like I can get down with that, but they tasted like legitimate like barrel aged funky sour beers. They were really good. We brought one back to as a thank you gift for our friend who watched our dog while we were gone.
Yeah. So, those are the 4 breweries. The distillery in town, the Emolga, which I also believe is the name of a Pokemon.
Oh, I think you're right. Like a fish?
No, it's a flying something.
Oh, okay. Who knows?
I don't know. Anyways, the distillery is good. Restaurants, any restaurants really stood out.
Tracy's Crab Shack.
Delicious, expensive.
Expensive, and there's a wait. Like if you're on the way to the airport and you need to catch a flight, this is not the restaurant you want to stop at.
There was a guy who was ordering it to go that was very interesting. She's like, "Can you hurry up? I gotta catch my flight.
And the woman's like, "We've got like 20 people in front of you on your ticket." Like,
yeah, don't do that.
So anyway, go on an afternoon where you've got time to wait for the food. It's worth the wait. It is expensive. But it is like you're eating seafood that was literally pulled out of the ocean that's like right in front of you. And so that's pretty cool.
Walking distance to that, the Red Dog Saloon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Wyatt Earp's gun
is there. You can see Wyatt Earp's gun. You can see a walrus dick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was there, too.
Yeah. And when we sat like right, like when you looked forward, all you saw was just walrus cock. And it's like, I don't know how to describe it besides there's just a walrus cock. It's like mounted on a wall. This place, has sawdust all over the ground. It seems like one of those places where you can throw peanuts on the ground and nobody would give a shit.
Yeah, basically.
We did get the crab cakes there, and they weren't bad at all.
Yeah.
And they had their own red IPA. I'm not sure, or just red ale. I'm not sure who made it, but they had their own.
The Grizz Bar.
The Grizz Bar, very cool outdoor bar.
Yep.
Which I assume in August, awesome. January, not as awesome, but they had a whole bunch of heaters. It was right next to the ferry boat, so all local beers. The Sandbar.
Yeah, the Sandbar is close to Forbidden Peak, so it's a little bit out of town.
Best fish and chips in town.
Yes.
Absolutely best fish and chips.
Also just kind of like a cool, like, sort of, you got a blend between locals and tourists in that one, so that was pretty cool.
And that definitely, there's a guy that came from a different city you have to ferry into just to get the fish and chips there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then a guy brought us just a piece of crab.
Yeah, he'd been out crabbing all day, and he had crab in his car, and he brought crab in for people. He brought one in for us and one in for another guy at the bar. Like,
yeah, and they were from Port Angeles.
Yeah, so hi to those people.
Yeah, so people in Alaska, very friendly.
Yes, very friendly.
And then the dive bar scene, I don't remember all the name of the bars, but there's great ones. Like those ones, the Grizz and Sandbar all kind of have some local beers on tap. The Grizz definitely a more beer bar-ish than other places.
Mm-hmm.
Alaska Bar and Hotel. What do you imagine a bar in 1920 look like? Dirty, dark, awesome.
Yeah, there's a stage. It's great. It's kind of amazing. I would highly recommend stopping in that one. I think it's become a little bit of a tourist trap, but it's worth stopping in for sure.
And then any of the bars on that main drag right there are pretty cool. Like there's a lot of drinking in Juneau.
Yes.
Bars stay open till 3 a.m.
Yeah, and there was like a lot of different kinds of bars. Like there was a lot of the really divey bars, and then there was a few that we went in the last night we were there. They were like nice.
Mm-hmm. I went into one cocktail bar at one point and got a couple cocktails and a Rainier. But everywhere I went, they spelled Rainier wrong.
I noticed that.
They could not figure out how to spell Rainier, and that's just like a shot to my heart.
That's okay. Maybe it's a thing up there.
Yeah, Rainer.
Yeah.
Or some of them just spell way off too, like Ranieer. Like, what are you not even trying now?
Rainier.
So.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else you can?
You really there's so much. There's only so much to do in Juneau, but this is why. So we actually have another episode of Ben coming out soon. Ben already went there again. That probably would have made things too long, so we're gonna break this up into 2 episodes.
We're trying to squeeze as much last-minute travel into the end of the summer as possible, but I think we're officially done for at least for the next month or so.
And then we have Boise back up again. See if there's any new breweries in Boise coming soon.
So in the meantime, we'll do our best to try and check out some new spots around Seattle.
And we'll talk fresh hop during the band episode.
And that's the other thing. We have fresh hop coming up.
Oh, I'm gonna drink so many beers. Last year I did not get to 200 beers. Think I
How
can do
many?
it.
How many did you get to last
Like
year?
150.
Okay.
Ruben's making 9 right there. There's boom 9 right there. The 2 beers coming out like next week. The Sabro like crop is like
Ready to go.
it's like today or tomorrow.
Oh wow. All right. 2 weeks then.
And then a couple weeks after that we'll get the Sabro. But like the early hops have already been picked. Beer there is fresh hop beers in people's tanks right now.
Crazy.
Yes.
So it begins.
All right, do you have a favorite beer in Alaska, by the way?
Oh, I mean, I would definitely, actually, probably, what was that?
Don't say the
called?
perspective collective perspective.
I was not going to. I was
that
going
one's
to say
Boom, nailed
the Devil's Club, the milkshake one.
Oh, that was very good.
Whatever that was called. That was called.
Do
Do you like?
Mm-hmm. So, Juneau, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. I would 100% go back. I liked it there a lot.
Maybe not the best brewery town in the world, but the breweries they have there, very good.
Worth going to.
For a town of 30,000 people, you might expect a few more breweries, but no. I mean, it has more breweries than Renton, and Renton's like 3 times the size. So
True.
So, anyways, cheers, everybody. Have some fresh hot beers soon. Drink all those summer kolsches.
Yeah.
And have fun.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.